Hello YouTube, my name is Nicholas Montez and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, everybody. And today we're going to be doing a celebration of cinema review for the first 3 Die Hard movies. I meant to do this like a couple days ago, back on Sunday, but I was very busy, so the video is coming out now. And what's actually kind of fun about this is I was gonna do a review for the entire Die Hard franchise, but the thing is, if you know me, I'm not a huge fan of the last 2 Die Hard films, so we're just gonna limit it to the first 3 since I think all 3 of the original trilogy is awesome. So let's just go ahead and get started talking about all 3 Die Hard films. And honestly, when it comes to the story of this movie, the unique thing about the first Die Hard is that it's known to be the best action movie out there. That, in a way, it's not really all about the action. It's more about... And it's also known to be one of the best Christmas movies of all time, as it has a heart to it, it has a story to it, to where you actually kind of feel for it. It's kind of like A Quiet Place, where it's a horror movie where you feel emotion. That's what this is, except in A Quiet Place, the horror stuff actually works. In these movies, the action's basically just a bunch of gunfire. But it gets better throughout all the other movies that come out after it. But I think what's so unique about every film, from the first one to the second one to the third one, is the way they develop every story. And they're able to do emotion, but they're also able to do unique action set pieces for the film. So for the first one, it takes place in this iconic in this tower thing, this giant building, and so therefore every moment is John McClane trying to go down the building. Because the building is so big, he has to do so much in order to stop a bad guy. He has to get on top of the roof, he has to communicate with the guy outside. It's so much, and then you get to the second movie, and it's Die Hard in an airport. And it makes it even more fun because you get to fight in, the bagging sections, and that scene is really fun. But then you also have, them blowing up airplanes, which I think is awesome, or stabbing a guy in the head with an icicle. Awesome stuff. And then the third film, I think, generates back to the greatness of John McClane's character, to where we get to see him in his everyday life, basically, and team up with Samuel L. Jackson, which a year before this, he was in Pulp Fiction with him, and then later on, he'll be in Unbreakable with him. And so, with all 3 films, they crafted unique places and settings for them to do unique stories and emotion. So I think that's what makes the story of all these films good. And the next thing we'll talk about here are, of course, the characters. Of course, Bruce Willis is great as John McClane, as he has this really absurd personality, and he has that connection with his wife. I really enjoyed the stuff that they did with him in the first Die Hard, where he has this troubled relationship with his wife, and all that stuff. And the thing is, I think the first Die Hard is a very good film. The reason why I don't give it as high of a grade, like an A+, is because I wish the action was a lot more entertaining. When the action can be big in scale and size, then I can care for it. But when it's just simple, loud gunfire, not really the biggest fan of that. Unless there's big explosions, there's hand-to-hand combat, then I'll probably care for it more. But I just can't hear. It's the same, and I don't know if I would say I like Die Hard 2 more, but I also like the characters that they've added throughout the franchise, whether it's the cop from Outside, or Samuel L. Jackson's character in the third movie, or even the guy from the dad from Coming to America. He's in the second film playing like a soldier. That was fun too. So just a lot of fun little elements to it. And the final thing we'll talk about here is the action, as these are action movies, and pretty much all the action in these movies are pretty great. I would say that the second film is more iconic when it comes to action, mainly because you actually get cool action stuff. You look at the first movie, it's basically all gunfire. Not to say that it's bad gunfire, but there are plenty of other movies that are not considered action movies that have plenty of gunfire. And most of them are war movies or like realistic movies of protesting. This movie is pretty much all gunfire, and that's what it is. It's cool gunfire. People get killed. There's some punching in there, but there's not much of it. You get the second movie, and you actually have John McClane fighting bad guys. In the baggage sections area of the film, there's some cool action there. Like I just said in the beginning of the video, he stabs someone with an icicle in the head. Awesome. And then he blows up a plane. And so from my experience, the second Die Hard movie has some more memorable action in my mind. And then we get to the third movie, and pretty much the only thing is it's the set pieces that I love more than the actual action. And the set pieces in here of trying not to get things blown up, that is genius of doing set pieces that are thrilling. I personally love that idea of the film, and it reminded me a lot of the Saw franchise and how to not stop or an escape room for that matter, except you're doing it in a New York City setting. So I thought that was kind of cool. So yeah, it's this franchise. These last three movies I think have been absolutely amazing. I really wish that maybe we'll get like a John McClane prequel in New York City doing his thing. I would love to see that. That would be a film I would definitely go see. And that's my review for the Die Hard franchise, the first three films. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.